Hi everyone! Today I'll be making a video looking at the key set that came out in this year's Comiket, since the real Comiket could not happen in person this year, but instead Key took it online. This is all purely from the Key Comiket site that they had up, where you could interact with the characters and walk around the booth. It was really fun. So here I've got the key set as well as the visual style set for this year. The visual style set I actually just bought from the Koubaibu before, but they did have it in stock for the Comiket site as well, but you can get it from either place. So first of all, this is the usual desktop calendar that comes with the visual style set. I've been using this for 2 years now, since I'm normally a key set person, but ever since buying my first visual style set last year because Kyosuke was on the cover, I've ended up buying this set along with my usual key set every year as well. And this month is Shizuku and Shiroha. And this is drawn by Maruma sensei actually, who drew for the Kudwafter Ouen Irasto as well. Next is the usual visual style calendar schedule shiru, and this time Kyosuke is indeed included with the seal, so that's really cool to see. His one is Ryoko Kyampu, so he's going out on a trip, which is very typical. I also like that Tenzen and Ryoichi are doing like party danjobi. It seems very typical of them. It's really nice. There's also one that is actually a new type of seal, and this one is Jiyu Kinyu. These are really useful to plan things or to stick on the calendar, since it fits very nicely on the visual style calendar as well, which this year looks like this. There is the typical Gotopi illustration of Tenshi on the front, as there always is. This year there is no Kyosuke in this one, but there are some very nice illustrations regardless. My favourite happens to be the one with Kamome and the Angel Beats characters, so there's always crossovers going on in this visual style calendar. Last year's one was really good. This year's a little bit less Little Busters themed. Here is Zen's illustration there. But I really like this calendar since you can actually write in the spaces, unlike the key set calendar. And the characters' birthdays, as always, are listed on the calendar itself, so it's always easy to know when a character's birthday is coming up. And moving on to this year's key set, I'm going to start off with the calendar. This year feels like there's less stuff in it than there normally is, but maybe there's a few reasons behind that. I think most of it is taken up with posters rather than other things, so I guess the small bits and bobs that normally come with a key set have been replaced with posters and such for the new projects and things like that, and there's also a focus on Prelude as well. But starting off with the calendar for this year, again there are primarily Summer Pockets illustrations, which is nice to see. There's also Kudwafter, since the anime version did come out for the people that backed it. It's not out for the general public yet, but it will be soon. They have said they're working on a normal release. There's also Kamisama ni Natta Hi, which is... I won't go into that, but there's also Yumemi as well, since she is getting a new OVA. And in particular, I just want to show 2 of the illustrations from here. This one is by Fumiyun and is of Nomiki, and this is amazing. I love this illustration so much since the minute they showed it. And the other illustration that was rather popular was this one, which is for next year. This is Umi-chan and Shiroha, and there's also Heidi, but he is a snowman. So I really like this. This is amazing. This is of course Naga who drew this, and Naga sensei's work is always amazing. I love his art very much. And moving on to the posters that came with this, there is one of Haizakura from Prelude. Prelude is just a mixed media project, mostly focused on figures and some short stories. It's not a visual novel. I'm not too sure why people think that for some reason, but it is purely some short stories online that you can read for free, and also some figures with kotobukiya. So currently Haizakura's figure is on pre-order. I did pre-order the Visual Arts Koubaibu Luxury Edition with the analog record, and they will be making the rest of the girls as well, it seems, so that's really exciting to see. And of course there is one of the new kinetic novels from the 3 kinetic novel projects that they are working on. This is Rupazu, and this is of course by Ryukishi07. It's a very different image, I'd say, for Key, but regardless I'm looking forward to it. And my favourites from this set has to be the original soundtrack illustrations that they've included. This is the Summer Pockets original soundtrack illustration as a poster, as a full illustration, so that's really cool to see. And of course there is the Summer Pockets Reflection Blue original soundtrack illustration as a poster as well. This is Shiki and Umi. This came out Christmas Day last year, so it's still very recent, but I do have this soundtrack as well. Sticking with the theme of Lupaz and their new kinetic novel series that are coming out, there is a key next project, Prelude note. They always include one of these to show what new project they are working on, but just to show you a little bit, this is one of the main characters, Mia, from Lupaz. The art is really interesting actually, I really like the art style here, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out considering it's a kinetic novel. But personally, I'm really looking forward to these other two, which is actually Project Luna and Project Porter. Porter is of course written by Tanaka Romeo and looks very reminiscent of Planetarian, so that's very exciting, and Luna looks very reminiscent of Rewrite, so it'll be very interesting to see how they turn out since it's been quite a while since they made a kinetic novel. And definitely my favourite thing from this set has to be the Arrange album, since this time they went for a Brass and Wind Arrange album, and not only that, my favourite character is on the cover. So we've got Kamome-chan's new illustration by Naga. I'm really looking forward to taking pictures of this with my doll of Kamome. I never thought that I'd see Kamome wearing pink, but it's actually prompted me to now buy pink clothes for my Kamome doll since she suits it really well. And for it to be a Brass and Wind Arrange album, I was so happy since I do play wind instruments, so it's really nice to hear a Brass and Wind Arrange album. And not only that, they've really gone all Kamome on this album since there are two songs about Kamome, it's both Departure and Wizu, so that's really cool that they've completely just gone with Kamome and no one else. I'm really happy about that. There's also Natsu no Sunadoke, which again is in the Kamome route in Reflection Blue, so it's pretty much mostly Kamome themed and I'm very happy about that. The one I was really excited to see was actually Orba, since that has never really had an arrangement on an arrangement album like this, especially as of recent, so that's really cool. And also Light Away, which is from the Kudwafter anime adaptation. And last but not least, there is the Summer Pockets Reflection Blue Eco Bag. So this is a reusable eco bag of Kamiyama Shiki from Summer Pockets Reflection Blue. There is this illustration of her on one side and another one on the back. And this is really nice to have and to use. It's very useful, and you can wrap it up again and reuse it. And there is also Shiki's Musubi Keychain in there as well. And this of course is her favourite food. And overall this is everything that came with this year's key set and also the visual style set, which were both sold at Comiket. Again, it was really fun to just go around all the different booths on the website and actually having a time slot that you have to enter and having to get up really early to do my time slot and spend my hour doing the shopping and then buying it and then logging out. It was quite a cool concept though. I think it worked really well and stopped loads of people coming in at once because it was all, you had to get a serial code for a certain hour and then enter during that hour, and once that hour was up, that was it. But of course you could visit the next day or whenever as well. So it was really cool to take part in all of that and be able to get this year's key set once again. I've lost count of how many key sets I've had now. This must be getting up to about my 7th key set or something ridiculous. It's nice to have all these illustrations to look at throughout the year. I'm really happy about it. So overall, again, a big thank you for my friend Miku-san for sending all of this. I really appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!